Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it. The way you like it.
Welcome, my friends, to the Cathedral of Counter-Strike!
What is your calling?
After 11 years of Global Offensive, the final one, the ending of an era, a game that has obsessed us. Welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne 2023. It's time to get it on! Welcome to those that have made the pilgrimage here to join their voices with ours. A place that has dragged fans and players from every reach of the world to come here year after year.
Who y'all really got a problem with? Who y'all really trying to see? Come when we get down to this, you better step back, get your neck cracked, get laid down, when you best step, better check that.
Heroic have been waiting for the Yami to bail them out.
Got my number, don't call me. We eating up, that's all beef. You freezing up, that's y'all's team. Cause we really lose no more. All about heating up, leaving that cold. You can see me eating up, killing that show. I ain't about getting
They're coming for you. They're coming for you. Sudden Pius. Continue.
Rick, this man cannot be stopped.
Let's go, baby.
Sound the alarm. We about to go on. You getting it wrong. Time to go off. Can't hold us back. Truth hurts, you always that. My truth lurks, say y'all collapse. Now scoop first where your homies at. Come my team with me right now. My team's on me right now. But what should we y'all out? It's time to weed y'all out. Okay, we coming back with a vengeance. Time to go start your engines. What is this thing y'all mention? Time for y'all stop pretending,
Ladies and gentlemen of the Lanxess, let's get this grand final started.
Oh, we confess it was everyone for themselves. We live through our hells alone. But every test we rise and we're strong to the bone. No longer alone.
One more round of the thousands they've played. One more. D2 manifest greatness in the Lanxess. Can you believe it? A sold-out stadium to witness. G2 riding the high.
Without this team, it wouldn't be possible. I'm really happy to have them by my side. It was amazing. Thank you all for coming. I hope that you guys enjoyed the show.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues bills, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain, but thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, Kidia, and 1xBet.
We move over to North America, where we are going to jump in to another matchup for ESL Challenger League Season 50, Cup number 1, and Vincent alongside Why Not. This is going to be a good time. We got NRG and BLUEJAYS, a matchup that has some history to it, and some history that we're probably going to get into. But before we get there, on a scale of 1 to 10, Tony, how excited are you for this one?
8.
All right, that's pretty good. I'll take it.
No, but seriously, I mean, this one is as you said, one that's been seen before. It's not like it's anything all that new. The difference being is that there's been a bit of a nuance to their rivalry with the additions and changes that have come since the, I'd say, 3 months ago period of time where, not necessarily set in stone where either of these two rosters were. Things were actually on nouns for the core of what is Blue Jays and up in the air as to whether or not they'd find their footing with their roster, whether they've been poached. And when the latter becomes true, both NRG and Nouns having evolved perhaps into their next forms, or hopefully not regressing, as they do seem to be at least stabilizing.
Yeah, if we can take a look at this bracket as things are set, to be honest with you, I feel like not a lot of surprises coming into this position. I think ultimately we have gotten where we expected to be, maybe in control on the bottom side of the semifinal bracket. This being the upper bracket, there is a lower bracket. The loser today is not out. It's just down to the lowers, but expectations met in that regard for me at the very least, and it's got to be. M80, like at the very tippity top of the expectations. It's a question of like who can beat them, and I think for me, it's straight up NRG is the team that can do that. So I think that they need to come into today looking as good as they have.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can start to crack down into what the history that we were kind of alluding to previously really means, because the first time that they had even played against one another, the first time that NRG had played with Exotic and Carson in general, at least on LAN, was almost, I think, maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks into its inception at Fragadelphia 19.
Yep.
A best of 3 where they lost to the Blue Jays, but one in where I think that's entirely reasonable to believe that as a possibility, if not even a likelihood, to where recently they'd caught about 2 weeks ago a 2-0 loss against NRG in CCT. And that was one where I thought that they would need to have a little bit of a teething period, NRG, to get to a point where that would be a regularity. And tonight is where you can see whether or not it's going to be that, or whether or not it is going to be a back and forth affair, rivalry in NA at that level just beneath or at least adjacent to M80.
Yeah, it's hard because Blue Jays come into this with a roster that I like a lot of the pieces of. I think that I've always been behind Cryptic as a caller. I think that there's a lot to love about what he brings. And I think that Junior, listen, I think on the Nouns project, there was times where I was sort of out on where Junior was at, because mostly that team was meant to be able to make waves internationally. And I thought that when that attempt was made, it always was a little bit flat. But Junior has been fantastic in this Blue Jays jersey since jumping in. And I think that, as a whole, this pickup of Laxi made a lot of sense. Like, if you've noticed, I'm talking about a lot of players. It's a lot of stuff that I like. This is a Blue Jays roster that I think is well constructed.
There's a lot to talk about, too, in the sense that these guys aren't just one of those Mod Podge player groups that have been coming together for years and years on end. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually, you know what? Even in the sense of, well, maybe not necessarily NRG. I was going to say they're also in that same boat because, George, Exotic, and Carson have played together previously for quite a little bit of time there. At least not for all that long of a time at 3, but definitely in pairs all across, it feels like, these last 4 or 5 years or so. But yeah, Blue Jays are something entirely new, entirely different. Of players that have been thrown together. You pull up their HLTV for the team and they're all wearing different jerseys. That's how far back they've gone.
Yeah, and I mean, let's maybe flip the script a little bit, because we've talked a lot about Blue Jays. Let's touch on this NRG roster, and in doing so, take a peek at the Kadea player to watch, because I think I've jumped in. I'll take the hand raise on this one. I've jumped in and picked out Exotic. Yeah, I did, and I think that this is like not blowing anyone's socks off. This is an obvious choice, but let me paint the picture for you, because Exotic was a huge risk in my opinion for NRG. We saw what he could do with getting info. We saw what was possible, and in the past we had seen that to sign this guy and then immediately go into a LAN and say, like, dude, you just either like gotta do it, you gotta be him, or you're probably gone, I think was ballsy. I like that moxie from NRG. And Exotic has proven them right, that they made the right call, and he's continued to show up. He is the most exciting player, I think, in North America right this moment, who wasn't in the conversation last year.
Sure, I think I can definitely get behind that. And NRG have kind of been in the habit of collecting the infinity stones of those kinds of players, like where it was at one point Hexed. I think that goes without saying that he was somebody that people were always bigging up as far as North American Counter-Strike was concerned, had his chances here and there, and now is being given another one, which I think is, well, George, who still stands by this team even, who is also one of those players pulled from what was once Nouns. These two players seen that same fate. And Exotic being the next in that stepping stone, in that line, as now with the veteran leadership of Nitro, this is a very calm, cool, and collected roster for the most part. Well, also a little bit of that spunk and a little bit of that energy that Exotic may not be used to, also having not really played in any lands prior to the team's existence. Now it's going to be a balance of all these things we're going to need to see in order to bring themselves into that next step that NRG looks to as an organization as well.
Well, and as we refocus to Avito, there's I think a lot of interesting conversation to be had surrounding this because, Blue Jays, like you said, you alluded to previously in that CCT result in the semifinal, they got 2-0'd. They got dominated. That was on Overpass and Dust 2. And Overpass is definitely a little bit of a weak spot for Blue Jays. Not going to be taken this time for NRG.
I thought they would.
To Mirage. I thought they would too. A Mirage that they leaned into in that frag quarterfinal, sure. And I don't think that's necessarily a problem or anything like that. It's the map they won in that series. Dust 2 is no surprise at all. It's the fact that we get to an Inferno decider, maybe not crazy, but the fact that it's not Overpass picked by NRG.
Yeah, I actually did think that along the lines of what this would look like, that Overpass would be where they would kind of rely on, and Dust 2 is also kind of an obvious one for the Blue Jays for me, knowing that the instant bans were what they were. I actually am a little bit more, I don't think concerned is the word, a little bit more shocked at the fact that Nuke is floated so deep and also not picked by NRG even. Like, it's not like this is a wild pick of Mirage. I think it's just one to where, usually floated for a decider instead of an Inferno many a time. But NRG were the opponents on Mirage. They take their wins pretty strong here and there over everybody in North America, and regionally having proven that on LAN in the best of 3 they lost, might I add. I guess that's where their minds are at. I guess that's where they're looking at history and trying to repeat it, because otherwise they haven't had the exactly same level of success on these other maps. Blue Jays, they can be, in their minds, instant bans, and NRG maybe just playing into what they know is to be their more comfortable spots.
Yeah, if I were to hypothesize a little bit, I think that NRG playing some games with this veto, trying to think around their opponents a little bit and
just a wee bit.
Yeah, and I don't think that's necessarily to a negative degree. I think that's to be seen. It's a matter of, we won't know until we see what's up, because I think that this NRG team, one thing that they do well is their preparation, is they don't tend to go into a match without having a game plan, without having, something ready for it. And so I don't think that's changed here tonight. What I do want to point out, though, is that this is a Mirage that, whilst I don't think is all that great on paper for Blue Jays, I think there's historically a lot of good Mirage players on this Blue Jays team. This is was Laxey's best map.
Yeah, I was going to say exactly
when he was on Akimbo. This is a classic map if you want to go back and talk about Nouns, right, for Junior. And for Classia, dude, I mean, this is where he made his name, I feel like, in many cases. So I think that whilst the Blue Jays' recent history doesn't tell a great story, I think the pieces that they have suggest that they are capable on this map even despite that.
Yeah, but looking at the near future, the immediate future, the first map of the series being that Dust 2, something that we've seen from Exotic many a time over as well. And if we're talking about map specialties, I've seen this guy do some filth on that map. Seeing as obviously he is the AWP player, Vincent, I guess I could make you take a guess, but in the last 3 months, 11 maps played, what would you say his rating is?
I'm going to go for a 1.34.
1.41, and that is including a 0.57 rating against Vitality. If that map weren't included in that, he'd be closer to be floating a 1.5 across 2025.
That is crazy. And that's not a small sample size either.
No.
It's a very...
Some of them have Blue Jays results in them, by the way. 1.36 and 1.53 respectively. Numbers obviously only mean so much, but they're damn good.
Listen, you can certainly say that, and I agree with that statement and that sentiment, but no doubt those numbers are damn good and hard to argue with as well if you're talking ahead of a matchup like we are. But and I think that's kind of to the point that I was making about why Exotic in our player to watch is. I mean, he is the guy, but dude, he has really showed up. And whilst I think there's certainly some criticisms that I've leveled towards NRG about how they approached this move with Carson specifically, I do think that they made the right move with Exotic. And like I said, he's proved them right in so many ways. And I think that having this tool to wield around for Nitro to utilize, it's such a freeing like thing to have. And especially after, listen, I was actually a bit of a defender of what we were seeing from like OC, but it clearly was struggling. In comparison, you got a guy taking over games left, right, and center now.
Yeah, I think what hurts most is that OC wasn't really, in my opinion, like struggling. It didn't look like he was getting like outright beaten, and NRG also were playing a little bit higher of a team list at the ends of his times, finally getting their attempts at such as like an IEM Dallas and then the Blast Austin Major. But, you know, Exotic, he's never lived that. He's only seen the North American regional levels of comp, and that's something to where OC, I think, was only just getting edged out by Junior, and that was really where my eyebrows started to raise. And that's not necessarily that Junior isn't a good opper, that he isn't playing well, but it's just the precedent that's been set between those two players to where OC should, by all metrics, be above him on most times of the week. And when that isn't happening, when he starts to slip, and so too starts to slip NRG, he is somebody you need to take a look at when Exotic is on your door knocking. Then, obviously a risk is what you mentioned, but one that you need to be willing to take if you want to make it back to the big leagues.
Yeah, let's shift the focus slightly whilst we have a moment, I guess, to talk, because I think this matchup in particular is one where it was a big win for Blue Jays to take this NRG team out at Frag, a win on LAN, etc. But right after that event, the word on the street was that Classio was the guy meant to go, but Freshie gets dropped immediately almost after that event, which was it was a huge surprise, I think, to pretty much everyone, that's who it was. I think that they've struggled right now to find a final piece. Walco hasn't officially been announced by the Blue Jays organization, but when you were talking to Cryptic a week ago about, it sounded to me like things are pretty set in motion. I wonder if that's the long-term plan here for Blue Jays.
I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't really mean to be speculatory, but it's really all we can be at this stage, to where the way he was talking about it was pretty definitive to me about him staying around, or at least in the short to medium term that would be the case, right? But with that, I think that it could also act as, if not immediately, in the long term, a stepping stone into a fifth player spot, because obviously Walco is going to be bringing a lot in terms of experience, in terms of role identity, in terms of his mid-round ability to inject something into the comm lines of the team. While the calling may not be entirely there sometimes for Cryptic, he may need somebody to lean on, but I don't really see that being a huge problem. But he said it was because he needed him in the mid-rounds, and if that's what he's going to be working with, if that's what he's going to be doing for the team, then so be it, because also he's been one of their highest rated. He's 1.16, again, numbers, but an incredibly important piece in this one was he going to have to be individually if they were going to have any say against the teams that they'd go stacking up against.
And that, I think, for me, is the question mark for this series, right? Because I think that we've talked a lot of upside, but it's Walco who's been really good in some of these matchups against lesser competition. But it's also Walco who I think has been a little bit missing in, as an example, that NRG game in CCT, some of the tougher opposition. And listen, I am referencing an M80 game in that as well. Fair enough. I'm not going to take that away from him, but for me, I think it is required. Like you say, it hasn't been there in the matchups against, we'll just call them like top four in NA. NRG comfortably within that conversation with the likes of M80 or a wild card for that matter. So, that's where I'm looking to today. I want to see that level that you've just hypothesized, that you've been talking about, the numbers kind of back up. That needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that that department as well. I think that we kind of summed up a majority of what these guys are going to be bringing in expectation. We've summed up what the history has looked like between these two guys, and that has brought us to this point. And we've really set a nice picture frame up for someone to actually paint the canvas, and that's going to have to be one of either Blue Jays or NRG in a little bit. This best of three still looking to be rounded out by the players who have joined the servers, setting their situations up around them, as we will be throwing it to a break, and we will be right back until that's the time.
All right. Well, it wasn't long to wait, and we won't keep you waiting any longer. Blue Jays, NRG, time is now. And Blue Jays, they might have bested NRG at LAN, but it's now NRG who are clearly, in my opinion, up and above the favorites for this one. Both of us predicting NRG coming into this one, Tony, and for good reason. They've been showing out, and I mean, their win against Wildcard in the final of that CCT event, especially, I think really gives me a lot of faith in what these guys are looking for. So we'll get things underway. NRG, take the CT side of Dust to begin.
Walking up to these doors, a jiggle from Laxi, a turn from Freshie? Freshie?
What?
Freshie's in the server. Oh, and Laxi's been removed. Might be ECL roster restriction stuff going on. Not sure.
No, I think that happened way before the cutoff, but I mean,
he's
way,
back.
It is what it is. This is, I think, going to be difficult for Blue Jays, but NRG on the back foot on this pistol round. Nitro, a 1v4. He's already started. What an adjustment. Classia dead. And another man close next to these doors, but they don't want to test Nitro. And I wouldn't either.
Actually gushing him through the ledge. Wow. Very close on all adjustments, it seemed, to be honest with you, but 2 kills. Simply not enough. A third and a fourth. That's what everybody else had called upon the captain to be able to find. And when he doesn't, the Blue Jays, with a new old look, have made themselves out for a nice little lead on their map pick to begin with. That stalls Exotic out for a while longer before he can be that difference maker and Kadia player of the match to watch. And that also means that maybe Junior can start to get a thumb over top of him financially for a longer of a time, because longevity on this map is in physical as well as economical importance as probably any map.
a nasty glove knife combo that Laxi has. I'm normally not a glove simp, but that was pretty cool. I feel like this is a very weird situation for Blue Jays to be in. Like, obviously they've been pracking Walco like for the last 3 weeks or whatever. I think this is the first and only official I'm aware of that like Freshie has been in during that time. So
yeah, I agree.
I just feel like it puts Blue Jays in a very difficult position. And that's not to say that they can't win. Obviously, a lot that they can fall back on. But, you know, any updates to what they've been doing and how they've been playing and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it entirely changes everything, especially because of the way that Walco has taken, you know, like been so central in a way that's very different from what Freshie provides.
How he had described the vocal shift that Walco brought to the team was a pretty important one as well. And I guess he can now call from above all of his teammates as he watches from the heavens. Junior gets his sniper rifle. It's something that I had marked as pretty early success point of this team that could be. But right now he's being put in a position to where awkward are all the decisions he gets to make from this point forth. And grouping with everybody else, though, maybe some targets in which can pull away the line of sight and he can post on to try and make as effective the AWP as useful.
And this early lead from NRG. Man advantage does make things a little bit more dicey. Glacia left ahead of the smoke and through mid doors. Junior falls back. And they're going to group back in the looks towards B. Two things stand in the way, though. Carson, George, longtime teammates, and Carson's smoke is potentially problematic. It's the op, though, that takes the first contact, and Junior nails it. Now it's up to George, but a fantastic first shot, and Laxi goes down. They'll slow it down. Let the next step of mid take the next contact.
Bro gets exotic boosted. He sees Glacia climbing up to the window and actually falling off the box or jumping up above it to see better vision sight lines. Whatever the case, works out, and Junior not able to hit onto the quick snipe shot to where George lay at the car for all that time. Only a singular target left. A double on the round overall, an important one to bring back before things had gotten too sour. And this is an awkward turn into a fourth round for Blue Jays, seeing as they'd gotten such a nice beginning, seeing as they were given the opportunity to put Junior to some good use, losing Cryptic in the first 10 less than an ideal look.
And literally delivering a AWP right into Exotic's hands as well.
Prime next day delivery.
Point. Yeah. In fact, they're doing even better. It was almost immediate. Next round delivery on that one. One we haven't gotten a look at just yet. Exotic. Smoke broken open there at mid-door. He sees nothing for the time being. Molly, a little bit awkward. It's broken open again. Carson given the vision as Exotic goes down. Only a tag onto Laxi. Carson's survival paramount as he'll fall back.
George holding for if anybody's to walk through these doors, and there's players on every side, one above, one to the left, one to the right, and once the first of them swings, they'll be met with not the first of their expected worries, but instead Carson, who is relatively quickly dispatched of, but it's that B site that still sits upon only one player. Bro to drop a flash, Smoke to blow the smoke if he'd so please, but instead he waits it out. Freshie on the other side, off angle, one that works, and the Galil put to good as he gets the quick spam off, and still standing is George.
But how about George? He's been big. A double kill just in the previous round to hold off the attack from Blue Jays in that direction. He's going to be tested once again. Time starts to run low. And speaking of low, the HP bar is not all that healthy in the Blue Jays camp. Might be caught in transition as well. No, Nitro doesn't pull the trigger. First shot missed. Freshie. Oh, but Junior, a phenomenal trade. Now Nitro set to clutch once again.
You say trade, I mean, not really much of one. It should have been a kill, and then gone back. And they're Again, also low to the point where that pre-fire almost lethal on the Junior. If he just got one of these kills, it would have been so much more simple for him to isolate the rest of them, pulling them apart one after another. And he just can't justify it any longer. Junior might go in for the jiggle, might try to catch him on the fallback and away, and everyone in the server a quarter or less health. That's ugly.
Yeah, but that's fine by BLUEJAYS. It's NRG who are thinking what could have been. George, who is big eyes. Is Nitro dead? He might be dead. Yeah, they just changed the bomb radius on Dust 2 specifically. Granted, I think he might have been dead before that patch. For you nerds out there, you can no longer plant B and survive at Carl. Alright.
Sorry, did you say something?
You're the nerd I'm talking to. I'm pointing at you right there. Why not FPS?
What? What? Huh?
Dude, somebody get me a new caster who's not sleeping. Yeesh.
I thought you were singing me lullabies on purpose, dude.
Me sing on broadcast? That'll never happen.
Only at karaoke?
Only at karaoke.
Okay.
Which is not on broadcast. Little tech pause here. Apologies for the delay, but to be fair, at this point, it's kind of been the day of a little bit of those with the updates to Counter-Strike and such.
Counter-Strike is just one big tech pause waiting to happen all the time. There's game issues, there's like anti-cheat issues, there's server issues. What issues aren't there nowadays that don't get in the way of a match? Whether it be here or in a matchmaking or a premiere, you name it, a pug. This game is just one big cesspool of pauses.
You're mad.
I am, and rightfully so.
Yeah, stay mad. Give Valve some of that energy. Let them know. Let John Valve know. Yeah, clearly, I say clearly. I'm anticipating maybe some losses, the issue here. A little bit of reconnecting, but...
In other news, In Control lead M80 on map 1, 5-3.
I thought you were about to tell me a big lead that, like, mattered.
It's pretty big. It's T-side Mirage. It's pretty big.
Okay, if you say so.
CT side only gets easier, Vincent. Not that I expect you to understand the such simplicities of this complex game, but
no, I'm a pretty simplified fella.
Aspire up 6-3 against Marsborn on T side Ancient.
I'm glad to see Aspire jumping back.
7-3 actually.
I think they briefly had a CS team previously, but
Is NA over? Are we done?
We've had more new orgs recently than not ever before, but in the last few years. I think we're so back.
Where's Kusta though? So I mean, what does it matter if we don't have Kusta?
Cries.
He's the most important support opera in the world. I miss Steel playing with Kusta. He whipped that guy into shape. Ghost gaming of old. What a time to be alive. Chaos even. Gosh, take me back.
Indeed. You don't want to go back.
I do. I will.
How? You have a time machine you're not telling me about?
Guy's going to be throwing this one to a break potentially, I think, as we await the full return for these players. So stick around. We're just going to be chilling out for a moment or two longer. All right. Round is upon us. Weird little investment to see George on the 5-7, but everybody else getting pretty good spread. I mean, it really isn't the worst buy in the world. The only real gap being that Junior's AWP changes how this one will operate for the rest of the round, as it were, as well as the fact that none of them have armor, and Classia has an M4.
Yeah.
Ooh, Cryptic Galil, too.
Yeah, the lack of head armors, though, not going to really make those distinctions all that relevant.
Why?
Well, for the M4?
Yeah. One-shot headshot now.
Yeah.
Becomes an AK.
This is, yes. We agree.
Oh.
I fear we said the same thing 2 different ways.
Perhaps.
That'll happen. Double up towards long. NRG entirely leaving the A site to BLUEJAYS disposal at the moment. That's not going to be taken. Laxi actually dropping into the smoke, so he gets CT control. A classic. And under pressure, these 3 defenders at B.
Bouncing back with kills on this site with players on either end. That 5-7 actually will have its name read. And Bro is just going to be firing off so much ammo out of his gun that it eventually sees none left in it, and the chamber's been pulled as Junior looks to pull a Molotov. He faces Nitro, who's already swung wide enough to where the plant would be laid. Not today. We're nearing the tie, and the buy does actually work after all. Well met, and we've seen it before where Exotic gets offered the sniper rifle from Junior's dead body, but it didn't really matter for them a whole hell of a lot. Now is the time where he needs to shine, because there's barely anything up against him.
I mean, these late round B anchor situations, man. Bro, a double kill here, really important. George did that in the previous round, to get them the first win. NRG to highlight and give Exotic back that AWP. We've just been tossing that thing around. It's been a little trade fest. I think the same op has moved hands 4 times now. Let's see what Exotic gets up to. He could be tested here in a moment.
Hopefully he studied. They're going to be waiting by for everyone to be in position for their next swing. Maybe even run boost or something of that novelty. But Laxi the first with the pistol to hug the wall, and Exotic more worried about mid. He turns about face and pulls even a smoke to play defensively now. Has to redirect in towards the site to have better lines of vision. And one flash, he'll be ruined.
Ooh, that's really defensive, that incendiary. You're gonna need to break it open. Don't see anything. Another great flash for BLUEJAYS to scale them back towards the site. And as that incendiary is gone, it's now Laxi first and foremost with a deagle in hand. Gonna re-smoke on the cross. And the first shot for Laxi falls flat. Smoke actually gonna allow him to exit should he want to. Another missed opportunity. Bomb needs to filter its way onto the site proper. That'll happen now. Immediate to punch those numbers in. I guess if Exotic not going to hit those shots, staying alive is critical, and he does just that. Nitro now over the top. They push all the way down. Junior's AK set to save by the look of things. He'll run away.
And what really stinks is that no matter how stuck they know Exotic is, they just don't have the facilities to actually get up on its position, unfortunately. They don't have the weaponry, the utility, the manpower, the staying power amidst the site should anybody have gone on a mission like that. And now 3-3. Bomb planted, kills accumulated. Junior having run it back with the AK-47 and the armor as everybody else looks to keep themselves in good enough standings for the next round. Here is where a drought will be suffered. Nitro's been putting on a pretty good show tonight, to be honest with you. Not necessarily like superstardom in a lot of these moments, but definitely looking pretty snappy in how he adjusts between positions, even with kills unclaimed. But 7 and 2 is a pretty good conversion on that. And Exotic, I think, having picked a player above the failed mid-smoke of some capacity.
I think blocked, but yes.
Blocked.
Not 100% on that one, but...
Oh, if he let that nade loose, that would have been meaty.
It sure would. No armor on these guys either. Instead, Freshy puts hands on the recovered AK there from Junior. Cryptic scaling out mid, seeing nothing in CT right now. It's another round very similar to not the last round, but the round before, where NRG super passive in the way that they are holding late into a round. Tripled up at B. Now they start making moves, but long control theirs, and they have no interest in trying to fight for anything else. They'll let the A site fall entirely before they start moving elsewhere.
They're just slowly sitting in their groups, not trying to overdo or overcomplicate this retake, but also not trying to run it too quick. Shot to the shoulder from Nitro, finished by Bro, who is just beyond him, and the rest through CT spawn have an easy enough pickings to pistols without armor. And they'll lay them out. Although there's just going to be about 10 seconds left on that bomb by the time they get there. The kits on enough of these players where it shouldn't be that much of a scatter to get atop of it in the fourth, the top of this game in this map. NRG looking to really return to form after the pauses.
You know, when these moves first happened, the exotic Carson moves, there was some games out of NRG that I felt a little bit concerned about, because I felt like that careful, measured approach was a little bit gone, but quickly NRG have recovered that. They've made it so that, you know, those types of rounds, they do not care about BLUEJAYS getting a bomb plant there. 5 surviving, that's the most important thing, and they pull that off brilliantly.
Yeah, really inconsequential are those kinds of moments, and they're starting to look a little bit drained of options, BLUEJAYS, whereas they haven't had an infinite number of gun rounds to actually show their full potential. These rounds where they've had slightly lesser or forcing in, they've still made it get a little bit close as far as, you know, the realm of possibility is concerned. As you say, they're getting plants and things of that nature, but it's by NRG's design.
Yeah, but doesn't matter what the design is, they're happy about it. Get Junior another op. It's Cryptic, though, who faces an AWP first, and it's Exotics that comes successful. Second round in a row that he's had impact right then and there. Same position. Now Carson set up for success. If Laxi wants to fight, right into death.
Exotic not going all that aggressive, dropping the smoke in which they think is one that'll enable his escape. What it's actually done is it's enabled him to play all across different depths of it to find them in good conscious. He can peek even further beyond now as it's a 1 versus 5. No level of throwing that he can do would amount to an NRG loss. That would go on the rest of the crew, and he's done more than enough. Although he will go down in the head-to-head, it ultimately should not make a difference. Bro and Nitro both playing it tucked these doors, and what a setup they have. Oh, dude, imagine a lineup. That'd be the craziest thing I think I've ever casted.
Yeah, no doubt, but so far out of the realm of reason or possibility. And in fact, Junior can't even escape, can't even make the move. Great timing on NRG. And I mean, just a disgusting round from Exotic. It's those types of plays that I think is what we're talking about whenever we discuss it. Because it's pretty rare, but it feels like even when we're talking about it and trying to define what Exotic has been doing in these games for NRG, it's those things that sometimes are hard to even describe.
I'm going to steal that idea with that smoke. It was a really cool idea from him to be able to go back into it without needing to throw away the game.
Yeah.
And this time, in both mid and long, aggressors have been made known of and appropriately dealt with. Oh, damn, that's 2 in a row now for Junior, at least in the squabble against his greatest opponent. Oh, this could be something, though, even now. The timing from Classy is a little early, I would have thought, but even at a medium to long-range distance, he's able to deal with his former teammate. Now gets to work along a little bit more comfortably.
Bro's got lots of flashes stacked up inside CT there. He's just recollected. Junior's going to claw back out, though, on Catwalk. Re-clear of mid happening right now. at the cost of A. Again, NRG, the style they want to play on this CT side is safe. This bomb plant does not matter. It pales in comparison to winning the round. Plenty of utility for a retake. Look to press in, all coming from CT spawn.
Press in they will, dinking through that wood onto Junior, and then one sent packing on catwalk from Nitro, who has been, as mentioned, so very sharp, and from all different directions he'll turn into spam. But Classy with one of his own, a smoke to the bomb and a nade over top that's been lobbed, well connected and well met. Is yet another retake from NRG, and one that probably didn't need to get that close, but when it does, they handle things with grace.
Yeah, and again, that's the whole idea here for NRG. They're just fine with that. Would have liked to maybe not lose as much, but Klassia, he's an it factor that's kind of hard to beat. He's always going to find something to tack on to. But a 6-3 scoreline. NRG are sitting pretty right now. We'll get another gun round. It's Junior's op again. He's had a lot of impact, like a lot of kills here. But unfortunately, they haven't all netted round wins.
Bro gets away on a limp, but gets away nonetheless. Gets them into a jockey for position now, where Exotic felt more comfortable holding into lower tunnels, but they're going to need to take some time off on that concept. By force, they've been... What? Sorry? What's up, dude? Yo, what's up, dude? What's up?
There's been so many of these, like, interesting long setups, and Blue Jays haven't seen any of them. Like, NRG have been doubled long every round, it feels like. And they have had a different look every round, and Blue Jays have seen nothing of it.
Just giving so much faith over to the fact that Exotic will be able to get his one, and if he doesn't, that the B-bomb site is fortuitous, but... it's been working. That exact same plan. So, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it type moment, perhaps?
I mean, fair enough. Certainly don't think an adjustment required based on what we've seen, based on the scoreline. Cap pressured, mid to B smoke put into place. There's one more smoke there. Laxy's just tossed over to Cryptic. This B site probably going to be under the knife in a moment.
This backside player has so much work to do. Bro gets a kill. Bro actually continues to work in this round. Him getting one is all the more important, and then re-facing Exotic over topside the smoke. But they don't have the bomb. That's why. Thank you, Observer. Good lord.
Yeah, Bro dropped the bomb. He aggressive alongside of Nitro.
It got through at the end.
Nitro might go down, but Laxy alive, but the round lost. Yeah, I mean... honestly, I don't use this lightly, but a little unlucky there. That the bomb is what gets caught.
That's a tough transition to miss out on.
Yeah. And realistically, I think it's just a matter of... I think Cryptic is the one who had it, and he was the one tossing the last vestiges of their utility.
The comparative damage output just isn't quite there. Feels off kilter. And Junior is the only one I've really been seeing consistently putting damage down range. Well, we do have a few seconds. I want to update once again on what's going on elsewhere. 13-5 map 1 for Aspire.
Wow.
Rager.
Holy.
Yeah.
After you said 5-3, they didn't get another one?
I guess not.
Sheesh.
Aspire were up 5-3, and they won 13-5.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's a 2v2 going on right now to determine whether or not In Control take map 1 or if it goes to overtime. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
And Lag forfeited their game tonight because they couldn't field a lineup.
Yeah, you know, there might be something about Freshie playing, because maybe Maybe it's a similar situation with like because Brett obviously was cut.
Maybe. Oh, they in control 1 map 1 against M80. Beast
Dude,
with
what's
102 AER. Beast.
He's a life game.
Yeah, that's kind of wicked. I'm not sure what was going on here while I was checking up on those scores. Did you see somebody DC?
Yeah,
see somebody drop?
I didn't notice who DC'd, but yeah, somebody dropped.
No, it's a shame.
So we wait. Glad we got the updates though at the very minimum, dude. This is a crazy evening for Counter-Strike.
Yeah. Counter-Strike is definitely going and stopping and going and starting again and restarting. Seems to be the way of the world lately, my friend. But with that being said, Counter-Strike will return soon enough. Until that point in time, you're going to be waiting for me and Vincent to return to you as we throw it through a little miniature break.
sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life.
Alrighty, I promise we're trying our best. We're back in the game. And when we left, NRG clearly in the lead. Blue Jays looking to bounce this back. They've got a look towards B. Is that actually X'd in the server? In place of Cryptic? Unfortunate. Things have just gone from bad to worse on that one. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, what?
I was muted.
Oh, my co-caster is a bozo.
I have a serious unmute and mute problem.
Oh my gosh, I've just been talking to myself.
I do this to keep the observers and the production sane, and then I end up going insane. Well, either way, 5 players split and spread. Blue Jays, having lost out on the last round, now have to work it once again. Axe enters the server as said, and he will be filling a role for the in-game leader, in which I certainly hope he can, having been the man in the sky for all their practices and officials. And there goes Junior to get them an opening to work with.
I mean, hey, Junior's been good at doing that. He's been consistent at the very minimum. In a game where, unfortunately, Blue Jays' technical limitations not allowing them much consistency otherwise. Group up on Catwalk. Finally, Blue Jays going to pay some respect, right? They've been consistently pushing this, and unfortunately, Freshy, it's a little bit of look out of shadow that gives him away.
Bro, not playing overzealous either. And everybody else trying to work with what they've got, having rotated back to Cat. Leaving Bro might have not been the right move, because now he's just stuck up in it. He's been tagged, and I think that they know it. Axe getting closer and closer, and Laxi playing a distance game as well. They just need to fight in and flood from Cat now, and they have. Has it worked enough? It seems to be. As Axe is back turned, his teammate needs to do a lot of work himself, and actually Laxi does find the triple kill while Axe handles business.
Well, that'll work. We got a quick break to go to. Apologies for the delays. We'll be back in about 2 minutes with the second half of Dust 2.
This is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got
soul inside those new shoes. And you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Alrighty. Gonna keep moving and hopefully unopposed this time. Got Blue Jays CT side getting started. Not the greatest of halves, but despite all of those struggles, they get 4 rounds. NRG look good, but they've lost the opening duel. Carson goes down at the top of mid, and Laxi not gonna go unchecked.
Important is this pistol round for Blue Jays to remain competitive in at the very least and try to box them out. One well-placed flash and a smoke to take away vision lines could be big, but Bro just pops his head up and pops Freshy's head off. Oh my god, another one even as he sees the player jump off the railing. Off the railing is he individually for this. The rock in a hard place as Bro had dropped off himself. He does not drop off in terms of form.
Dude, it's a Nitro Bro masterclass right now. Nitro's 15-5, Bro's 14-5. You'll take it. You'll take it every time. And yeah, all of these questions and everything about the Blue Jay situation aside, some good individual form carrying NRG over. More than anything, I think, on this pistol round, man. Great work from Bro. Look at the double scout out here. Your favorite.
Be looking to get not so swiftly into B, but at some time. And, you know, the Blue Jays are firewalled off by that mid smoke, as well as the fact that they had pressure over it long early with going to recover the space. I think soon they're going to be a little bit questioning, seeing as well as now as Freshy's gotten just in front of the smoke and trying to play ahead of what the play may be. And this might be the right move. He can just spam inwardly and maybe even find a freebie if he trades places. They've cleared out everything except the smoke itself. But now eventually George turns about face. That should be that. Realistically speaking, I don't foresee there being a lot of competition given over. And even then, an unexpected Carson aggression through the window is so odd. And one that makes a lot of sense from their perspective, seeing as they've gotten all that space flushed.
Smoke in his face. Carson doesn't want to fight through that, but he has Nitro right next to him. Covers the escape. NRG about to go flawless against the 4 spot, unless Axe can steal away a frag here at the very end, and he cannot do that. Yeah, as subs go,
Stealing
I
is
mean,
wrong.
Axed. What's that?
Stealing is wrong.
Oh, interesting.
TBH.
It's a good thing Axe didn't get away with it then. Yeah, as last minute subs go, I mean, certainly could be a lot worse than Axed, but I think considering you've got 2 subs right now, even if one of them is your coach, it's sort of chalked, I think, for Blue Jays on that front. Put together what you can, hope for the best. That's got to be the vibe. You can see Axe giving over an M4 to Laxi, hoping and praying that he can do something with it.
Okay. Well, just Eagle full span through smoke. Pop, 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 pop. Does catch a head on one of the last bullets that it had, but Exotic catches the head jumping up over the top of it. An easier one for him as Freshie assumes the same position. Will he have any better luck for him? I'm not sure, but he's got just the same weapon. It's one that is inaccurate in most ranges as well as when it's spamming. So right now it's going to be hard to make worth his while. No long flank, all from Cat or Spawn, so it's just going to be a shooting gallery from NRG in which they need to stand up to business on. 18-5 from Nitro right now is an impressive feat.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Bro and Nitro having a fantastic game, the duo of them. And I do think that that's something that elevates Nitro as a caller in a competition specifically, is that he still has these games where he is individually just a step above. Which to me, I mean, you know, I know that that's not really necessarily the case in non-North American competition, but I mean, still impressive to me.
Okay. Up through mid junior, looking to go on the aggro, met with Pro, who's still sitting at the suicide boxes, and Clasia doesn't really have vision to fight back, even if he's playing on an angle. In through a slit in the doorway that's since been smoked. E-bomb site once more looking like an NRG favorite, and Nitro, he's going to be held in by Laxi for a time, but when do they start to get a little bit anxious in this setup that they have held right now, with mid being such a gap? As Catwalk is an option, so too is the straight through go mid the doors, and I don't think they had any head armor, Laxi. It sounded a little soft.
Yeah, he had a lack of funding because he had the rifle dropped over to him last round, and he bought armor and a utility with it. Need to shut that down, Bro. Finishing off what Exotic started, and 2-piece for the captain as well. We head into map point here for NRG. Blue Jays map pick is gone down the drain fast.
You know what I wonder?
What?
You think it'll come to a point now being a map down on their pick where they may have to play with Axe for the next where they just forfeit? Or do you think they'd play it out?
I don't know.
Do you think there comes like a mental point where you're just like, is it worth throwing ourselves at a brick wall like that?
I think definitely if it weren't a stream game, it'd be more likely.
Yeah, that or if they weren't under an organization. The organization probably would frown upon that, I imagine.
No doubt.
Junior.
But I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, if it were me in like a league match, I like no org, no nothing, I'd be like, yeah, we're not doing this, dude. Oh! I mean, Junior needs to be going for these kinds of kills in order to be a difference into what is up against match point and his teammates without rifles, but here go the SMGs without flashes and without a way. It looks like the Blue Jays may have just given up Dust 2 over to NRG in a way most dominant than before, and it's unfortunate that they have to use Axe, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah, actually, there was a flash. It was just a little bit behind the tees there, so it wasn't very effective. Yeah, there was. I synced it. Unfortunately, didn't see much of Blue Jays on that map. Yeah, they got leveled out pretty consistently and completely. And to be honest with you, I don't really see that there's any takeaways from that. Cryptic having loss issues trying to get into this game. That was sort of the issues that we were having the first 9 rounds. what all those tech pauses were about. And then after that point, it just had to go with Axed. And it's never going to be ideal playing with your coach in general, but then also they had a sub to begin with in Freshie. I don't, as much as we bigged up this as a bit of a rivalry, it's hard to continue that conversation when Blue Jays are working from such a deficit.
Yeah, 100% true. And going into this next map, going into what is a bit of an interesting stage in the video we were talking about at the pre-show, being that Mirage. I mean, it could very well continue to be one of those NRG walkthroughs, but if we do get Cryptic back, I could foresee there being a little bit of an upset territory and potential board through.
No doubt.
You necessarily agree.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a matter of keeping the mental strong enough to, if that is a possibility, to be able to stay in the game, and I mean that metaphorically, not literally. So we'll see what that looks like. We got Blue Jays though on the attempt. Listen, the attempted bounce back, I guess is certainly there.
Definitely waiting for that one to see what will go on and if we will see Cryptic return, but until then, a break, and then we will return just as well. We'll see you in a bit.
I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become. till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm down. I'll keep going till my speaker calm down. I'll keep going till my speaker calm down.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino. Uh-huh.
We apologize for having missed round one, but we're here nonetheless. So don't sweat as NRG once more find themselves up against a fully stocked Blue Jays. Cryptic has returned to the server, and we have returned to the fight on this second map to where they hold a lead. NRG not only in that round, but in the series overall, having concluded map one in a very, very nice fashion, but one in which hopefully we get no more subs involved in.
Yeah. Like I said, we were talking about it. It's a matter of, are Blue Jays locked in for this? Freshy certainly is. Gets a free kill onto Bro. Nice shot from Junior. And how about more? His escape made as he can get out and onto the catwalk, retaining the man advantage that he's just guaranteed here for Blue Jays. Post plant. Exotic getting into a strong position and a forward one for George. Nitro's holding back the rear.
Nitro should have no major issue if Classy isn't going to be too quick about it. He just goes walking in. Obviously, I mean, that's a position you don't want to be loud about, but it's hard when you have an SMG to justify doing anything else but getting active, and getting active as Laxi is his SMG a little bit better for it. Nitro was the one who was tasked with holding that line for oh so long to the stage in the game now where the bomb being defused has only Junior to hold, so if he missed, likely Cryptic a dead man. So an all but necessary shot hit and an all but necessary round turn to force back for the CT side exactly what they would have wanted and then some.
Let's play the classic game of who lost the round there. Unfortunately, Exotic needed to have a little bit more impact from such a strong position.
They let them outdoor. I don't know how that happened.
Well, and that's exactly it. That's who was meant to be covering that, or needed to be covering that more accurately. I was gonna say some out of pocket stuff like, let's play the Falcons 3v5 or whatever. Whose fault is it?
Oh god, that was so crazy.
But I held back and said it as a joke.
I mean, we didn't really see enough or have all the information enough to know what exactly things would have been like. But yeah, we can point the finger all we want. Match pause. Oh good lord.
Yeah, we got unfortunately, a situation where it seems like Cryptic just consistently getting some loss and some technical difficulties is what we were being told during the break.
And nobody wants to play with that.
No, not at all. And you can only restart the router or the PC so many times. But yeah, I think more than anything, the question is for Blue Jays, are they still mentally in this game? Is this still a game for them that can be won, or are they already kind of halfway out of it? That's the mental battle that they're fighting right this moment.
The mental battle of trying to keep themselves cool, calm, and collected, not only in the server, but also with whatever external factors may be inflicting them. So maybe another short break and we'll have things squared off.
we got things figured out, at least for the time being. Match is unpaused, and another forced buy coming in from NRG. Blue Jays won theirs just a few moments ago, but this one's so much more lackluster than what Blue Jays was capable of offering. It's mostly Tech 9s. They close the distance fast. Laxi able to get his gun out. Freshie not so lucky, and a second flash is so perfect. Laxi, the 2-for-1. We'll call that one equivalent. An exchange made on the B-bomb site. Time to get the bomb down momentarily. Just been dropped over to Nitro, who will start punching the numbers in now.
Okay, bro, just battling back with the A1S recovered and retrieved over the window, and that's going to be Cryptic dispatched of, and Junior now having to make his way in without anyone by his side, as Classy is not really in any position to do much about this one until Junior has cracked something open for him. As this SMG's at such a distance, now he's going to have to start to speed things up. Carson claps him. Junior still stands close enough by, and toying with him is Mac-10 has a pre-fire onto the right spot. Good awareness from Junior as to what the setup may be, but awareness not enough. NRG immediately respond.
Yeah, better from Bro. Triple kill. He picks up all 3 of his kills in that round, and it's a dominant one too. They break through. Laxi offering up a very good trade, to be fair. And he actually gets the second one in defense from Get Right, but it do not matter. Not in the end. Go pound for pound, blow for blow here. As Blue Jays offer up yet another force buy. Junior, the rifle, felled immediately. Lack of head armor really hurting him against George's Mac-10.
Patient is Exotic, waiting for somebody to make the next step, and heard on the balk burnt is Cryptic. And even then, it spread to beneath it. I didn't actually hear it. It sounded like it was exclusive to the wood, but it's gone down low. Volumetric mollies too, baby. Now I think Exotic's going to be set up to entry point. They're going to play on 2 prongs of this assault with a little bit more comfortability from the Palace player in time if he were to have found the first at default. But the bomb's now hightailed it over in the other direction, seeing as it's been called clear by Carson.
Yeah, and that was, I think, the concern here for Blue Jays. They had stacked up the right bomb site. Ooh, really wide swing from Carson. That's a mistake that might pay dividends for Blue Jays.
Hold on, bomb
in transition. Cryptic.
Oh
no! A big miss there. Cryptic had it all. Now Nitro converts onto the man on site, and it's all up to Laxi, who's got a rifle, but not a lot of health. Should have been dead there. Gets a couple of shots off. Gonna step forward instead.
Dude, where is George going?
What is George doing? He's going as if to go towards A. Finally arrives on the scene here at Catwalk and the double swing. We'll get there in time. A lot of missteps there from NRG, but ultimately, safe pair of hands as Nitro.
A lot of time taken to get back to our golden boy. Golden man. He's earned that title over this length of time. He's done his duties, paid his dues.
Golden Captain.
Golden Captain. No, that doesn't have any ring to it.
Oh.
Golden Guy.
Oh, we're getting silly.
DM Vincent Cast with a 1 instead of an I on Twitter for Golden Gun.
I will try that.
All over the place right now, man. And they're burning them out. Nading them through to where Carson's already been dealt with, and the nade not having vision onto the other side of it. Cryptic turns, and is Exotic getting burnt. Almost down to 0.
Yeah, he was blinded. He couldn't see anything. NRG left with so little health, but so much mid-control. They got to be very careful. These USPs are now incredibly deadly on everyone. Even Nitro, who's got the highest health. He's going searching, and he might just find just a little bit of something. His timing could be pretty perfect.
Freshy's going to play head down. I can only imagine No actually firing off a shot or two just on a jiggle to where not going to be uncleared as Junior, and they're practically in a line for the last of them. Although 3 may fall, they're still going to win the round, and that, above all, is most important. Now, not really having seen all that many change-ups on the gun rounds from Blue Jays. Again, the symptoms of not having had many of them, given the money situation being as awkward as it were with the one back and forth.
I mean, they've had 1 gun round.
Yeah, I mean, they could have had 2 by now, but again, that's assuming that they didn't have the 1 round back and forth, unfortunately.
Yeah, a sort of crazy situation where Blue Jays winning that round puts them back in an unforeseen manner. Junior with an op. That posted up towards B by the look of things.
Carson playing the entry is an interesting turn, an interesting change of pace. Nitro actually almost being gifted the responsibility of the post plan now, as obviously Carson replacing Hext makes that a little bit understandable, but not having expected such the shift, and Nitro absolutely flooding into these bomb sites for frags. If honestly, truthfully, I don't know if I mean, the word isn't I hate to say it, the word is I wasn't expecting to see it, that Carson's addition is not a faithful 1-for-1 with Hext, but Nitro, dude. Nitro looks a lot better.
Yeah, it is a little surprising. I would agree.
He looks like really good, I would even say. In a majority of their games, I'm like, damn, Nitro.
Yeah, I mean, as I was kind of alluding to last map, he's always had that capability of being able to have that type of impact here in North America, but yeah, more consistently seeing that. It's certainly true. Fortunately, that Blue Jays gun round, I mean, it is blink and you miss it. It's gone. It's done. It's over. Take mid control. Stack towards A might be perfect, though. Blue Jays are going to be moving everyone into that location. They're going to speed it up as they hear utility. NRG are executing, and Blue Jays have everyone here.
The whole team's here, but it's not a party. There's smokes all around them to where once they fight through both the left and the right, they're going to be met by brutality from every which direction. I thought it was actually Bro who caught one of those last kills. That would have been ugly if true.
Big if true.
Big Bro.
Big
new roster change.
Bro.
New roster change. The second Danish player to ever play on Big incoming.
You want to tell the people who the first was?
Gade.
I know you want to.
Gade. Very nice head of hair.
This is true.
Not a fantastic replacement for Zontaras, unfortunately, but
I think that's true of like a lot of things, right?
Having nice hair?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I've only ever seen him and Device really rock a good cut.
Dude, shots fired. Oh my God.
I just can't think of any.
Holy.
I'm sorry.
So many good Danish Counter-Strike players.
Just so very few good haircuts.
And you're like, all of them suck.
I'm going to do some research while you cast for a moment.
Okay. Mid control developing well for NRG. George. In the extremity. I say that. Mid push is what that was. Cryptic gets his. Trade is fantastic, and it's range that Carson will have up against him. CT clear for the moment. They don't know that, but Exotic gonna punch the numbers in regardless. Resmoke for jungle, but they might walk through it just in time. No. Resettled. And now locked in to their post-plant positioning. It's a good crossfire. Exotic looking to take first contact. Set George up for the final frag if necessary. George gonna eat the nade. Now they're both low, but the nades go both ways. As Junior down to 7 HP. This one could finish him off. Junior is gonna hit the shot through the default box, but it is the nade from the grave that catches him and puts NRG up to 7.
Great round casted, have to say. Can't really find anybody else other than maybe Yabby. really at a loss here to find anybody else.
Magisk?
Nice hair.
He had like many good haircuts, no?
Prison has really nice hair, actually, now that I'm thinking more modernly, but I don't remember Magisk ever having a very standout head of hair. I think it was just always like a tight fade on the side, and then it was just rocked on the top.
I fear you may be a hater.
I don't think just having hair is a prerequisite for it being very nice hair, unfortunately.
Listen.
And a lot of Danes don't even have that, but at MSL, this Carson jumping out through the window and landing to the ground and getting a kill before he's done with. And no one sits amidst the smoke, so they don't have to worry about anybody getting too sneaky. And George is getting cheeky with some taps and bursts down into bottom con.
George out here looking like he is just on an aim server right there. That is nasty. That's what you want George to look like. You want him to have that confidence, that feeling. Yeah, this is a part and parcel dismantling of Blue Jays from beginning to end on some of these rounds. Others of them relatively close. That last round, a gun round, a little bit more so. This one, not a gun round, and yeah. Blue Jays find themselves once again on the back foot.
Getting a little bit overran at this point, overgrown has the round count become. To the point where they're feeling comfortable enough to be going for things of this nature with the bursts and the taps.
Yeah. This CTX death on the way to mid from T-spawn is throwing me off big time on our map.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Look at T-spawn.
Don't see it.
I'm being gaslit.
Don't see a way out for Blue Jays right now either, without it being a flawless run to the fourth. This half already having gone a bit awry. NRG playing it a little more slowly now. You can see it's about as default to split and spread as you can get, as well as with execution smokes for A. Top and con smoke, deep jungle smoke, a flash over, a molly under balcony, but no execution. It's Carson who gets up the bottom ends of mid to where they've been fearful of for so many around as well, and for good reason.
The fact that Exotic has the bomb outside of B here is going to be interesting. Mostly because NRG are set up to sort of poke and prod like this is going to be an A hit. And finally, Junior's op is an A. But it's not going to be an A hit. This is going to be very frustrating for Blue Jays. Bit up to Cryptic and Freshy on the other side. And it makes it even worse as Cryptic goes down.
And that's time enough now where they get to this site, we're low on HP. They will be in a post-plant position that isn't going to be simple, but a sniper rifle on the other side may complicate things for the side of the Blue Jays as he eats an aid. Sent one in response, and retort to Exotic will accept. And time is now ticking. They have only the one kit, so if Junior's the one who has to go and retrieve it, then he better be quick to the jump. They've got no flashes to set each other up. On the backside wall, Exotic is playing it so very close and so very slow. A snapshot to Junior, and that's round over. Bro can just jiggle this one. He can just toy with his opponent. He can play with his food, and he even gets the kill. The both of them are so very lights out.
Yeah, it's, I think, a good example of Exotic being a little bit of the whole package right now. Him just not swinging here and trusting his aim to nail the shot, knowing that it's a time required for Blue Jays to make the next move. I mean, genuinely impressive work out of Exotic there. Just to not swing. You know, sometimes hands-off keyboard Counter-Strike is good.
Not really a whole lot to go on about right now at 9-1, frankly. We're losing the plot as we don't really have a whole plethora of reasons to look back on this Blue Jays half all that fondly. Doing all that they have to and doing all that they need. Smoke's over, and this time not a fake, a full exec, where Nitro, actually, that Molotov is interesting, and by interesting, I mean it doesn't work. Neither will Junior sniper rifle in this moment.
Yeah, firing a blank shot off that one, a missed flick. And if he was still there, he'd certainly be dead. I think probably 100 bullets down into that triple box. Nice flash. Carson gets deeper. Now the 3 remaining CTs are all coming from that same position. Cryptic Jr. Freshie. And it's locked. This site, NRG, they've got really strong post-plant positioning as well, swinging off of one another. Exotic and George, a tag team with Bro activating late. And, I mean, at this point, Blue Jays look all out of sorts. They look like they themselves have sort of lost the plot of this one. So many technical problems deep into this match and not being able to, you know, fight their way out mentally even.
Yeah, even Junior not looking like the same player that he once was, fortunately. This is a for FAMAS investment for the final of the half. One in which they go hyper-aggressive both in mid and on Cat. Well, I guess one in the same, but through underpass is more so what I was referring to as the walk-up goes creeping into where no one will be standing. It's vacated that area, and Nitro is going to be a little bit of, I was going to say upset at the fact he may be shot in the side of the head, but spamming Classia down through the wall as he's exposed from the shoulder and it on.
Maybe a little bit of get back. Bro up front, though, and puts Laxi down with Freshie, the last man remaining. I'd say he's usually good for a clutch, but this is a tall task, a 1v3. This position now known. First is Bro. When he falls, Freshie upgrades onto an AK. Only 6 bullets in that thing. He's going to need to get a reload.
Oh.
Doesn't matter.
Little tips and tricks from Exotic there if you'd like to see, from the backside of Firebox all the way to Jungle, and that one going to be one that they'll see back in the demo following what seems to be a swift finish on Mirage. We'll be back in a few minutes to see if they can conclude it or if it'll be a monumental comeback from the Blue Jays.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been testing so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, You gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot.
It's time to roll this one up. We have an 11-1/2 that is pretty much set to end fast. Quick day at the office, at least for Mirage, it seems, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, trying to make good sense out of what has been a brutalization of the boys has not been easy. It has not been simple. It has not been a clear case. Well, one of the blues for the Jays, as NRG are 2 away from closing this series and doing it well.
Yeah. A lot of asterisks on that for the Blue Jays side about, you know, where they're at and, you know, technical difficulties and subs and all that. But, you know, for NRG, they have correctly made this look simple, given all those frustrations for their opponents. Hello. George getting a little look-see. Cryptic yet to activate, but from underpass should have a look at things. And yeah, this one's flawless, a perfect victory. It's 12 rounds, and gonna go out on a limb. Call me brave, but this one might be over next round.
Call me brave?
Yeah, the people
You're crazy. There's no way. I mean, the individuals are on point, on par, ready to go and raring to where the issues, obviously, with loss and whatever else may be occurring for the Blue Jays are definitely a bummer, but by far and away, it's just overwhelming, exuberating confidence. 15 kills, 14 kills, 12 kills, 11 kills, 10 kills. The only thing we're missing is somebody to hit 13 to separate that, and it would have to be probably Carson right now in order to make that happen, but then everybody else would be askew. It's a whole mess, but either way, they're going to be fighting it out on mid over the top sides of the smoke, spamming even then in the bottom ends of it, and it is going to be a massacre once more. The pistols and a scout all that's left, and Cryptic with a stunner, and Laxi near enough by.
Caster learns to count. That's what just happened right there. I thought they taught that at Caster School.
Okay, well, Bro's got 3, so shut up. And Laxi, the last of them, will only get a shot to the shoulder as Bro hits 4. That's it. We conclude this game, and the player to watch, really, honest and truthfully, only a major factor in the first, because everybody was working it out and working the players over on Blue Jays here on Mirage.
Yeah, I mean, for NRG, it seemed like no situation was too far gone. You know, everybody making the right moves. And ultimately, this Mirage has more to do with Blue Jays and, you know, probably mentally being kind of taken out of the game based on all the tech issues on Dust 2. With that being said, I do feel like this is still a matchup that in the future I think can be very exciting. This is just not one of those examples, given all of those asterisks and problems that we've been mentioning.
Yeah, definitely been a little bit rampant and lately in North America. Trying to get all these things squared away has not been a simple task. However, it seems to be enough of one for NRG here today. This cup, in where they look to make a bit of money, obviously a bit of VRS points, obviously on the line, just as well. They accumulate a couple of those, and looking at the stats for Exotic for these last two maps as our Qiddiya player to watch, we'll see that it was lights out across the entirety of it. It would feel 27-15. Doesn't usually seem like a score that you'd see in a best of 3, Vincent, but lo and behold, it is, because they were just so swift.
And to be honest, not even necessary to see him take out the op in map number 2.
No.
Crazy for your opera to have like a 48% headshot percentage. Actually insane, but that, because of the fact that he didn't even need it. We didn't see even all that many AWPs from NRG. In fact, you might have seen like 1 total from them on that one. With that being said, Tony, I think that just about wrapping this up, an NRG victory at the end of the day, and I think nothing too significant to take away, but NRG keep themselves at the same pace that we had set for them at the beginning of our broadcast here. They need to make sure that they're winning against whoever's put in front of them, because to them, the real deal is the guys like M80, like Wildcard, etc. And M80 on the other side of the bracket having some problems.
For sure. Time enough with Blue Jays, hopefully rectifying whatever issues may come their way for the lower bracket run. But that's going to do us for us tonight, Vincent. That was a pretty interesting set of games from both North and South America, but some nonetheless that we will have been all the ready for and had a great time with, I'm only sure. Thanks for joining me on this one, and I hope to have you here again soon, my friend. But until then, we'll both see you guys soon enough. Have a good night.
ESL presents ESL Challenger League in partnership with Intel, Acer Predator, DHL, Qiddiya, and 1xBet.